So Louis Riddick, former NFL front office executive on ESPN's Get Up, talked about Baker Mayfield and what he needs to see from Baker if the Browns are going to be successful this year.
You're not going to value him the same way you value a guy like Patrick Mahomes. Now, that being said, open receivers in drop-back situations, play action pass situations that are there for you to put the ball on them, you got to put the ball on them. Simple as that. So when those things are not happening, then, rightfully so, he should be scrutinized and he should be criticized. And if he's having those kind of moments where locking in on Odell Beckham, not letting the offense work organically for him like it did last year when he wasn't there, then that's something that Kevin Stefanski, he and Odell need to work out. And they better get it worked out. Otherwise, the whole thing as far as whether or not you should sign him to a long-term extension is going to get thrown totally sideways. But I don't think we should ever have this idea that he's a franchise quarterback on the level that some of these other guys are, because he's not.
So, Louis, I asked this question, right? We all know the line of average is if you're above Kirk Cousins, you're above average. If you're below him, then you're below average. Kirk Cousins, would you take Kirk Cousins or would you take Baker Mayfield?
Look, honestly, Kirk Cousins is someone who I have never really trusted in the same way that I would want to work with Baker Mayfield. It's a tough decision. I would probably still go with Baker. I think he'll play better as the year goes on.
And Jeff Phelps, Bart Scott was critical of Baker Mayfield. Okay, Bart Scott can be Bart Scott. I mean, they're 3-1. They're 3-1. Okay. Well, he didn't play well. At the end of the year, what do you look at? You go down and you say, how many games did you win? How many games did you lose? If you're a winning quarterback, then you're a franchise quarterback.
And forgive me if I've said this with you before, Dave, and I'm tired of me saying it too, but to me, it's a perfect example. Troy Aikman is in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And if you look up Troy Aikman's numbers, you would never think Pro Football Hall of Fame. But Troy was the quarterback of a team that won 3 Super Bowls. And he did a great job of leading that team. And when he had to make plays, he made plays. If you look up Dan Marino's stats, they're through the roof. They're unbelievable. Clearly a better quarterback than Troy Aikman. Or was he? He put up all the numbers. His team didn't win. Is that on Dan? He never won a Super Bowl. He's also in the Hall of Fame. So there are a couple of ways to get this done. You can light it up individually, and maybe your team wins, maybe it doesn't. Or you can do what Troy Aikman did. All right, let's hand off. Here's Emmett. Take the ball. Go. All right, I'm going to throw it to the tight end. There's Michael Irvin. Done. And he led his team to wins. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just in this day and age, Dave, where and I'm not kidding about this, everybody's so into fantasy football that you're looking for numbers out of a quarterback. You don't look at wins. They don't count on your fantasy team. And I'm as guilty of that as anybody. But the bottom line is, are you leading a team to wins? That's, in essence, the quarterback's job. And though I'm not the biggest Baker Mayfield fan, Baker's led this team to the most success that we've seen since when? Since Marty Schottenheimer was the head coach?
Yeah.
1 year maybe with Belichick. And I can't dismiss him for that. They were good last year. They were 11-5. They won a playoff game. Right. That's really good. And this year they're 3-1, and they're on their way. And he's the quarterback of this crew. And as you said earlier, guys like playing for him. You can hear it when they talk. You heard it with Bitonio. You hear it with Odell. They might not be connecting, but they're hanging out together. They're spending time together. There doesn't seem to be an issue there. It just needs to be maybe more game reps. I don't know. But so when you judge a quarterback, any quarterback, there's more to it than looking at yards and touchdown passes.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly, and your point about fantasy football, I agree. So many people play it, and we both play it. But here's the thing: we
love it.
They're not game planning.
I don't want Baker as my fantasy quarterback. I don't. Neither do you.
No.
However, He's quarterback of our football team, and that's working out okay.
They're not sitting in Berea trying to figure out how to throw for 350 yards. They're just not.
No.
That's not what
No.
Kevin Stefanski's trying to do. He's trying to figure out how to beat the Los Angeles Chargers. And
Yep.
that's the bottom line. If they do that, then everybody is doing their job.